Mostafiz, a television news anchor and correspondent in Bangladesh. Mithun, how are people in your country viewing the various nations' decision to close their embassies?
No, fears that Al-Qaeda may launch attacks in the Middle East and North Africa and beyond in the coming days prompted the United States to close 22 embassies and consulates for Sunday. And, it's an unprecedented move. As you know, normally Sunday is the start of the week in the country like Bangladesh, as one of the biggest Muslim nations. Bangladesh, what we saw in the diplomatic area in Dhaka, the embassy is shut. Many people went there to see what really happened. Actually, a kind of panic, Bangladesh and Afghanistan, both majority Muslim nations, and also are affected to the threat of Al-Qaeda, though the tendency and the Islamic militancy has reduced in a great degree, in a great, I should say, scale. Nowadays, we don't find any other threat in Bangladesh, but why this threat and why the decision like these taken by the embassy in Dhaka? I talked to many of the security officials and security analysts in Dhaka. They answered me. These alerts actually being continued in the country where the less governance, law and order situation is weaker, and actually, a seemingly immense crisis for Bangladesh was from that part of the world in America. And interestingly, what they are noticing, the analysts, Pakistan is not in the list of shut down the embassy and consulates in Pakistan, but why here in Bangladesh?
Let me ask you on that point, how was that then being interpreted by the people in Bangladesh, that embassies haven't been closed down in Pakistan?
Yeah, they are what right now thinking the people in Bangladesh is the Al-Qaeda then get strong when they find weak governance. As to some extent in Bangladesh, they find weaker governance, so Al-Qaeda may take the chance to attack some of the interests in America in Bangladesh. So that's what the people are thinking. Yes, so far the weaker governance is going on, the law and order situation is not in the right track, and that's why this decision has been taken by the U.S. Embassy in Dhaka to shut the embassy here by getting the hint from the U.S. State Department, and that's why the embassy is closed. What we see in that area is the Bangladeshi police is deployed. A good number of police forces, the law enforcement are deployed to protect that interest. And but people really don't think that this type of attack may take place in Dhaka, in Bangladesh, because the law and order situation also, the Islamic militancy has reduced in a great number.
Mithun, that's where we're going to, unfortunately, have to leave it for now. I hope we get an opportunity to speak again. But in the meantime, Mithun Mostafiz in Bangladesh, appreciate this report. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So the standoff in Montreal is now over. Officers there surrounded the home where a 72-year-old man lived. He had barricaded himself in the home, armed with a gun. An armored car removed the front door, and in just this past hour, a SWAT team moved in. The man is being treated in hospital. The standoff began around noon yesterday when hydro workers on the man's property said he threatened them with a gun. In Montreal is CTV's Maya Johnson. Good morning, Maya.
Good morning, Dan. It's been quite the drama here overnight in Côte St. Luc, and it all started to come to an end this morning around 8 o'clock when police say they had a window of opportunity to move in. They fired rubber bullets at the man, hitting him twice, once in the upper body and once in the lower body, and once he was down, they were able to go into the home, proceed to arrest the man, and he had to be treated, obviously, for the injuries resulting from those rubber bullets, so he was put into an ambulance and taken to hospital, and obviously he'll be facing very serious charges, although it's too early to determine exactly what charges and how many, just because of the nature of this, how long it lasted, and all the different things that happened throughout the night. Now, as you mentioned, it started yesterday, just before noon. Hydro workers went to this home and they were trying to do some work on the property when the man apparently came outside and threatened them with a handgun. At that that point, the workers called police, and that's when this all began. The man barricaded himself in his home. It was a standoff that lasted hours and hours. Shots were fired. A police officer was actually hit in the foot. It seemed to be the ricochet of a bullet, so he wasn't seriously injured, fortunately, but obviously a very tense situation here. A large perimeter around this neighborhood, people unable to get back into their homes, very concerned about everything that was happening, and it lasted throughout the night. Police had to try multiple techniques to negotiate with this man to get him to come out of his house. They wanted